Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 46. I am slightly burned out Phil, and this is slightly memory hold Raymond. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about today at all.
That'll happen when you work too much and get a TBI.
Yeah. He got kicked in the face, and then life kicked me in the face this week, so that was fun. There's nothing better than going on a what was supposed to be a day work trip turned into 2-day work trips, and you have no clothes. I was literally on site, and I booked a hotel room at 3 p.m. and then left site at like 7 p.m. Not even kidding. We left at like 7 p.m. and then I had to go to Target and just like get some.
You bought new clothes?
No, I didn't even buy new clothes. I just like bought some stuff to like hold me over through the night, and then like not show up to site the next day without like having my teeth brushed and deodorant.
If I was at Target, I would have at least bought a new pack of underwear.
Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't want to disturb our audience. Didn't need to know. It's TMI, but
Or you could wash them in the Keurig.
No, but now I'm not using Keurigs because of that. Shout out to my sister for that one. Yeah. For those listening that don't know, and you can look this one up. It's fun. You're never gonna drink hotel coffee again, but it is what it is. There was a lady that went viral on TikTok for a little bit, and I think she got taken down. But her viral life hack of if you forgot your underwear on trips, to wash your underwear
in the coffee maker
in the room, because it boils water. Alternative to that, you could just take your underwear and wash it in the sink or the bathtub, which also has soap and water. Or if you really want to, a lot of hotels have in-house laundry that like either you could like pay for coin-operated laundry or a service. But again, if you don't want to go through that, there's a literal bathtub that you wash yourself in. Wash your clothes in. Don't wash your underoos in my coffee maker, please. Sometimes I need that coffee, and now I'm very disturbed in touching that coffee. So thank you for that. You guys make me hate my life even more. Thank you for those people that thought that was not only a good idea, but that perpetrated that good idea forward. But besides all that, there's a lot of stuff going on this week.
Yeah, what happened this week?
The one thing I want to know of, have you seen the viral trend online recently of the red and blue button?
The red and blue button?
Yeah, has that hit your feed at all?
No, it has not.
I don't know if it's on your feed or not.
No.
So this thing comes up every once in a while, but usually there's like some moral quandary behind it, and it's like tearing up the internet right now, like how the blue and black dress did, whether it was white or gold or blue and black.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, it was blue and black. Like, categorically, like the designer said that's what it is. Yeah. But same kind of thing right now. And the question going around on the internet is that everyone in front of them, it was like started by some like Reddit poll or some X poll, whatever, and people are like freaking out on it because of how close the numbers are. I was like, close the numbers are really is like an L for society. But so everyone in humanity has a red and blue button in front of them. You have to press one of the two buttons.
Okay.
If more than 50% of the population presses the blue button, everybody lives. However, if less than 50% of the population presses the blue button, everyone that presses the red button wins. Or lives.
Okay.
I said wins. Lives. And like, so everybody's like been voting on what button to press. Now, given that question, and that's how it's framed, usually they frame this moral quandary a little bit differently. But that's how it's framed. What button would you press?
It should be the blue button because everybody lives.
No. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Wait, did I mishear the question?
Okay, I'll repeat it one more time. Everybody has to press a button in front of them. There's two buttons. There's a blue button and there's a red button.
Yeah.
If more than 50% of humanity presses the blue button, everybody lives.
Yeah.
Now, if you press the red button, so if you press the blue button and more than 50% press the blue button, everybody lives. However, if less than half of the people press the blue button, then everybody that press red lives.
Okay.
So which button are you pressing?
The correct button is blue.
Oh my God.
What am I missing here?
You were like the fucking white and gold people back in the day on the dress. The correct button is and this is the thing that's like making me lose faith in humanity. And maybe if you saw it, like Google the red blue button question, like see if it comes up for you, because like maybe like when you see it written out, it'll be better. Like maybe it'll register more. I'm glad this is working out this way because the internet is very divided. And I just thought there was a clear-cut choice, but it seems that like I was mistaken in that fact.
You said if more than 50% of people choose the blue button, everybody lives.
Yes. There you go.
Then you would want everybody to pick the blue button so everybody lives.
No, I mean, go ahead. Read. Maybe Reddit has it written out.
Two buttons. Blue button. If more people press this over the red, no one dies. Press red. If more people press this than blue, everyone who pressed blue dies.
Yes.
If everyone pressed the red button, nothing bad would happen to anybody. If everybody presses the blue button, also nothing bad would happen to anybody.
Yes, but it's basically, okay, I saw somebody, if they reframed it that the blue button said, kill yourself unless enough other people also decide to kill themselves, or the red button said, don't kill yourself, which button would you press?
Well, see, that makes more sense. Yeah.
But it's the exact same question formulated. It's just the wording's different, and everybody gets hung up on it saves everybody's lives if you hit the blue. It's like, no, if everyone just pressed red, no one would die, and there wouldn't even be a risk. So you're doing this not knowing what everybody else would do. So the red button is the only choice with 100% no death outcome for yourself. And if everybody else also has the same common sense, same common sense decision.
Because if you press red and you lose, you're still living because blue, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
And if you press blue, you're risking your life for half the population to also decide that's a good idea.
Okay.
But you're not wrong, because when this poll arrives on Twitter, more than half the people select the blue button. So it's like obvious to people, and people are defending this choice when they get it explained later by being like, I don't want to live in a society where people all press the red button. And I'm like, I'm in the opposite. I don't want to live with the blue people.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I understand at first glance where it's like, yeah, but if you reframe it, you're like, oh, yeah, why would I why would I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, because pressing the red is win-win. You live either way. Pressing the blue, you have a small chance of dying.
Yeah, somebody put it in like a pundit square with like the red and blue options of like, okay, if more than half the people press the blue button, then blue wins, red wins. If less than half the people press the blue button, then blue loses, red wins. Red wins both scenarios. Just hit the red button.
Yep.
Now, the reason why this is weird, because I've seen this quandary come up before. I think it's like the prisoner dilemma is what they call it. And it's usually where you can see something over like the other two people's heads and they could see something over your head. And then the vote between that will decide who like lives and dies. And given the pieces of information, you could just be truthful with each other and then everybody would live. But like if one of them lies, it could kill everybody else. And like you're given like part of that information. But this is like literally there's no negative to hit it. The negative is
less moral quandary, more logical fallacy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So some people might die. This is true. Like some people might. But if you all hit the red, there is 100% guarantee that no one dies.
Yep.
So, like, and again, everyone's like, yeah, but the blue, but it's like, yeah, but you also have to hope. And this is where I kind of lost hope a little bit. I was like, you have to hope that most of the population is dumb enough that they all hit the blue. And now I'm finding out from the Twitter poll, that's probably the case. And to quote Farnsworth, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
I don't know. Pressing the blue button does have a slightly higher moral bit to it, but not a whole lot given the situation.
No, I know. But like I feel like I've been gaslit all week because I'm like watching all these things and they're like, no, I definitely. And I'm like, I feel like defending the blue button choices from people that were like streamers and whatnot that said they would press it. And then when their question got reframed and they realized it was a stupid choice, they're like, no, I don't want to live in the society where like people would all choose the red. Are you kidding me? That society sucks. I'm like, that society sounds pretty great because that tells me when you're presented with two options and one makes the more logical choice, you're going to choose it.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only problem with that is if it's not all or nothing and there's a margin, then if red wins, people on blue side die. If the reverse is true, then nobody dies.
Yeah, because usually what this is framed as is it's like they do it in a reverse kind of way too, where they'll be like, okay, if more than 50% of the people press blue, then everybody then everybody lives, or if more than 50% of the people that press red, then everybody that presses blue dies. But they don't really put it in this question right now. They're just like, then you live and then they die. Not like they more intent drive it in the normal framing of the question. Like you're intentionally trying to kill off like some of these people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but either way, it's still one option. Everyone lives if everyone presses it. Like I saw a guy like frame it like recently. It's like, okay, this is like everybody's standing next to a train track and there's a train coming. If one person jumps in front of the train, they're going to die. If enough people jump in front of the train, it'll trigger a weight sensor that'll stop the train, and then everybody lives, both watching and on the tracks. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, when you frame it like that, why would you jump on the train tracks? But he said, but also add the element of you don't know how many people are going to jump on the train tracks before you go and decide to jump. But there's no one on the tracks to begin with. So you're like, wait, why would I do that? Why would anyone jump? Unless you wanted to die. Which there's enough meme and edgelords for that. So,
well, usually that's the people on the train are going to die if you don't do it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The penalty for the other end of the decision is not there like it normally is. Yeah. Usually, like one, like it's like the trolley problem. Usually, like one track's gonna kill one person. It's gonna kill 5 people. This doesn't have that. This is just like one track is empty. One track has a bunch of people on it. Which track do you divert it to? Oh yeah, the empty track. Obviously the empty track. Why would you not divert it to the empty track? Yeah, but if enough people try to divert it to the full track, then the train just stops instantly and everybody lives. Yeah, but they also live if the train goes left. Yeah, but society. I was just like, oh my God, I hate it.
Well, so your everybody wins if everybody presses red. There's going to be some people who press blue.
Yes, I know. I accept this. I accept this fact because here's the thing. It lessens the casualties with that. And I guess now thinking about it more, it kind of is like the trolley problem with that.
Because if enough people press blue, nobody dies. Your way, some people are going to die.
Yes, but if there's enough people that don't make that decision, by picking blue, you're maximizing the potential of more people dying.
Yeah.
But if we all just pick red, and people are going to be like, yeah.
Or if we all just pick blue.
They're like, yeah, there's some dumb people that might press it. I'm like, yeah, there's also some people that just don't want to see the world go on anymore that would also press blue. Like, what are you saying to me? I don't know. I guess it's an optimist versus pessimist kind of view too.
That's what it is. That's what it is, really.
Pessimistically, I'm like, I don't know about that. But also, like, my first thing logically was just like, yeah, just press the red button. There's no loss for you at all if you press the red button. There's loss for society as a whole, maybe, by not pressing the blue button. But like, logically, red button's the choice.
For yourself, yes.
Hey man, I saw that dress as fucking blue and black the whole time, regardless of the lighting. I love that people try to like super saturate it too, to like make it look like it was like the white and gold, and I never saw it that way because I don't have the thing in your eyes that fucks with like daylight or like dawn and dusk settings. Like I could see the color contrast enough.
I thought it was blue and gold.
Blue and gold?
Yep.
Okay, so you probably have it a little bit. But you have it probably enough where like when those images came out, people like oversaturated it, and then like some people could see it. Even when it's oversaturated, if you didn't fuck with the colors itself, I never saw it. I've only seen it in videos where people like gaslight you and they move it from like one side to the other and it changes colors and like, no, there's nothing going on here. I'm like, yeah, because editing's not a thing. Yep. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, look, I could tell you, it's the exact same color sampling over here. It's like, yeah, I can edit a video too, guy. What are you talking about?
The craziest color sampling thing. you ever seen the clip? Like a couple years ago now, I think. But it's a dude dancing, but he's got like 5 or 6 of himself, and he edits it so like they're dancing like in a triangle, and they keep switching positions. And as they switch positions, he's got his sweater like color keyed on him, but each one like changes color. It's I don't know, it's trippy to look at.
I think I vaguely know what you're
because as they
about.
switch positions, like the colors change, but like my brain didn't handle it the first time. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
But yeah. But if you made it this far to the video, you know what moral quandary I'm going to hit you with? If you don't hit that like and subscribe button, everybody dies. If you hit that like and subscribe button, everybody lives. So I expect to see the likes and subscribes jump up on this video if you're watching it. If not, I know exactly where you sit in society, and fuck you. But yeah, all jokes aside, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment if you want, hit that notification bell, share our show with everyone you know, especially if you like brain teasers. I don't know how many brain teasers we've done, but we can do more. I like it. We'll do more. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and sometimes the TikTok. But yeah, I just, this thing's been blowing up my feed. It's just been infuriating me all week. I was like, I need to ask somebody else about this shit. And I figured it was like 50-50 if you'd seen it or not, because your feed's a little bit different than mine. And I'm just like, everyone's like, no, you just hit. I'm like, no.
I also chose the wrong answer.
I'm like, hit the red, you live. Everybody lives. If we all hit the red, we all live.
And if we all hit the blue, we all live.
Yeah, but I'm like on the margins there. It's like, if we all hit the red, we all live. And then we assume, like, even if 3% of the population don't get the question and they hit blue, like, we're pretty well securing this like function here. Now, if on the other side we get 49% of the population hit that blue button and the other 51% hit that red, and then we lose 49% of the population, it's a big problem. I guess I am a utilitarian.
That's why you don't hit the red. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's why I don't hit the blue. Fuck you, blue people.
You just said it was a big problem.
I just like, yeah, I know, but
because that's what's going to happen.
Think how futuristic.
It's going to be that close.
Think how futuristic our society would be. Maybe it's the German in me. Think how futuristic our society would be if everyone hit the red button. If that never even stumped anyone for a second, everyone just hit red. Like, oh yeah, of course, logically, everyone lives. Hit red.
Well, I mean, if enough people hit the red button, then afterwards, everyone alive will hit the red button. And there you go. That's the society you want.
Yeah, we'll get the Viltrumite strategy. We'll just keep putting that question out every couple of years to like thin the herd.
Yeah, just stand up, snap the blues out.
I think there was a fucking Netflix show or Prime Video show about that, where like there was like a population crisis thing, and to sort that out, they basically tested you, and if you tested too low as a kid, they just killed you.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's it.
Sounds
no
like
more dumb people
episode.
in society. No, it's like a whole ass TV show.
Really?
I forget what it was, but I've seen like clips of it before. And like they basically like you're going to school in like a prison like environment because they're not letting you out into like actual society until like you pass these tests. And they like just use it to weed out the population as they go.
This does not sound familiar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Well, at least I now learned a little bit the moral conundrum on the other side of talking this out. But like I'm just like, yeah, just hit the red button. Just like obviously hit the red button. Like, what are we saying here, people? Hit the red button.
It's do I want to make sure I live, or do I want to hope that everybody lives? That's the quandary.
Yeah, I don't have enough faith in humanity for that. Like, it wasn't like really the utilitarian aspect of it comes out in the end, but I just didn't have enough hope in the rest of humanity to assume that enough people would press that blue button.
Yeah, that's what. Do I want to make sure I live, or do I want to hope that everybody lives?
Yeah, but I also like. Do you think there's enough people out there that understand?
You don't have enough hope.
It's actually, it was very funny because like the Twitter thing was like, I think it was like 43% red, like 50 like 7% like blue, and the blue people were all mad at the red people. They're like, did you guys read the same question we did? They're like, fucking obviously red.
I understand. I'm not going to be mad at anybody for trying to save themselves.
I want to do what the guy did, but it would probably get banned on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it. Reframe it as like, kill yourself unless enough other random people also decide to kill themselves, or don't kill yourself, and then see how many people press the don't kill yourself button. Yeah. It would probably change drastically. And I'll be like, okay, cool. So it's just the framing of the question that changes your answer.
Well, yeah. Because one of them promotes hope, one of them promotes death.
And then everybody that presses the kill yourself button, we just spam them with the suicide hotline number. Like the poll automatically sends it if you hit that. Like, do you need help?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Do you need help? Call this number. But yeah. So with all that going on, I'm glad you answered that, and now I hope for people listening to this in future, they've sparked the black and blue or white and gold debate on the dress again, because that, if you're too young, much like 9/11, you don't know about that.
I don't know, that one. Like, I was like, all right, that's whatever color it is. The lighting matters, and then I pushed back that like I did not care. People
were enraged over that one. Yeah. I loved how polarizing that was, and I was like, clearly it's blue and black, and people are like, no, there's no way you're seeing that, and I'm like, no, yeah, it's blue and black, and then they came out, the makers of the dress, yeah, it's blue and black. I was like, score.
No, after seeing videos of like you'd be looking at like a corner of a wall while somebody's like painting, and they're putting the same paint on both sides of the wall, but it's like two different colors because of the lighting. Like, lighting fucking matters. So I'm like, I don't care what color it is.
No, I know, but that specific color inversion happened because of the daylight going on, and like some adaptation that people have to like contrast colors differently during dawn and dusk. And it's really interesting because I don't know what the survival strategy would be there. Like, why is that a thing?
I don't know.
I also found out recently from with the vision thing that the visual part of your brain, like the part that's responsible for your visual cortex, is like incredibly small in the brain, and that it's constantly trying to be attacked by the other sections of your brain.
Really?
Yeah. And I was watching this thing. They talked about, they did studies on it, and if like they cover like, so think about like, even when you like cover your like one eye, it's not darkness here. It's just nothing. Like the other part takes over, and you just don't like, you know what I mean? You're not seeing black out of this. So they did that. They like covered people's like vision for a while, and it was like a disturbingly short amount of time before they started to like not see anything. And they like obviously uncovered it so they didn't have like permanent vision loss. But into that study, they realized that the reason why you probably dream is the visual cortex part of your brain fighting back to not be erased while you go to sleep at night, because that is how short a period of time it would take for your other senses to overtake that part of the brain.
It'll come back though.
What?
Like, yeah, your visual shit can be overwritten pretty easy. Like,
maybe, but they were legitimately concerned that it wouldn't, so they like stopped the study, like, because they're like, yeah, this might not come back.
But no, like there have been guys have worn like glasses that invert their vision, and it takes like a week or two before it like flips in their brain, like a switch flips, and then they just see normally, and then they take the glasses off and they have to like spend another week getting back to normal again.
Well, yeah, but that's a different thing because you're taking the visual information that you see and your brain flips it anyway. I'm talking about like just erasing that part, like just having your like permanent like eyes covered. And like right now, if you cover your eyes, you can see black, right? But they discovered that like if you did that for long enough for people, they went from seeing black to nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your brain takes whatever information you're giving it and fucking tries to make it work. And if you're giving it no information, it's just like, okay, I'm not using that then.
Yeah, anymore. Yeah, which is crazy. But apparently it's
and like that's why people are like, what do blind people see? Like, they don't see anything.
It's a very, very small part of your brain, though. And I was like, it's interesting. Fuck you. You're not bothered by anything. It's not fun sending you interesting stuff because you're just like, whatever.
That's the way it is.
And then I send you trains. You're like, ooh.
I don't like trains. I'm not autistic.
You like turtles.
Or at least I'm not that kind of autistic.
I don't know, man. When you look around at the stuff that you got and you get into.
Yeah, I'm not a train person, though.
You touched a little bit. Oh, did you see they discovered a new type of autism, by the way? So great. The spectrum's about to get bigger, baby.
No, I saw that they discovered a third type of ADHD. What? What? Did you just freeze? You having a stroke? What's going on?
It's not the same thing. I'm talking about autism and you're bringing up ADHD. Fuck you and your shit.
No, continue.
Just drink more caffeine and it'll go away.
I'm trying. I mean,
yeah,
only a little.
Yeah, drink enough caffeine and you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just do literal meth and you'll be fine.
Sorry, what were you saying about your third type of autism?
Fuck you. It's
Do you have
the
it?
moment's passed. The moment's passed. No, I don't have it.
I bet you have it.
No, I got different things. I don't have those things. People like to put me in the box of those things. I don't have those things. I got other things. Not those things. I got things I won't talk about on here, but
what do you got? Herpes?
No. But a lot of the population does. That one's always a fun one.
You got the Sisyphus?
Oh, no. No, I don't have any of the ST dizzles.
What were we talking about before that?
Autism.
Before the
Kind of
autism.
confirming it. Kind of confirming it. The things going on in the world. So, visual cortex things. Who cares about that? So the war in Iran still going on. Yay, gas prices are fucking through the roof still, and then they're dipping a little bit.
Are we
going
ceasefire or no?
Down. Yes, no, maybe so. Iran's trying to negotiate, and then oil prices go down again. And then Trump says, "Fuck you, we're not sending anybody over there till you're serious." And then oil prices go up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then up. Nobody gives a fuck. The UAE left OPEC.
What's OPEC?
Jesus Christ. The group of oil producing nations over there in the Middle East that artificially fucking inflates or deflates oil prices by deciding unilaterally how much oil they will or won't produce that year at any given time.
Yeah.
Which is why we could have had the cheapest gas ever if they continued to produce at their normal rates during COVID, but they purposely stopped producing so that gas went back up. Remember there was that brief period of time where a barrel of oil was negative money? That they would like pay you to take it because they had so much of it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, OPEC inverted that real quick because they're just like, yeah, we're gonna stop producing oil, just like all of it. And they're like, why? Because we need gas to be back up at like $3 a gallon. Fuck you. Like if they had continued to produce oil all through COVID and the decrease that we had during then, we probably could have seen gas drop to $1 a gallon again.
Wow, that would have been nice.
But they're assholes. So the UAE, one of the largest producers of OPEC.
So is them leaving a good thing?
A good thing for us.
Yeah.
You know why? Because their currency is very securely secured by the U.S. dollar. And they're leaving OPEC partly because of the war that's going on, but also they want an emergency line of credit. And guess what that emergency line of credit is going to be funded by? That's right, the dollar. So guess who's about to have a pretty big control over what those guys do with their oil production? USA, baby. And then we got Venezuela in the back pocket.
Okay, so you said good thing for us. I thought you said not a good thing for us.
It was a great thing for us. Right. Yeah. USA. So like there's a big like conspiracy going on there of like the whole moves that is going on right now is because we're also, this is not true at all, by the way. I just like want to bring this up because it's a fun little conspiracy theory that's going around right now and I'm laughing my ass off. So we're about to get a new chairman of the Fed because the old one's on his way out.
Okay.
And like he was supposed to be investigated and then the DOJ dropped the charges and he's like, I'm going to step down. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then the next person is going to be put in. So the conspiracy theory online here, not true at all. There's no founding in this whatsoever, is that the U.S. is just going to, with the new Fed chair, just completely cancel their $34 trillion in debt. not pay it, not do anything, just cancel it. And this is great. This is great. The conspiracy theory there with the debt cancellation is we are going to chokehold enough of the world's like oil and energy producing that we're just going to say, yeah, if you want oil, we don't owe you shit anymore. And I love it. I love it that people think that like it would actually ever work that way in a million years. But it's very funny that that's going around the internet right now. They're like, the new Fed chair is going to cancel the debt, and here's how you could get in on not having to pay as much as your debt when it happens. And I was like, well, dude, if they canceled all the debt, all of our debt would have to be canceled because we wouldn't pay it if you did that. If the Fed, how debt works. If the Fed tomorrow was like, yeah, America just wiped out all its debt, and you still hit us here with like mortgages and credit card debt, we'd be like, nah.
No, you said that's gone.
No, no, it's gone. We're not paying it. Like, if you thought the red-blue button was a moral quandary, wait till you do something like that. People would just be like, yeah, I'm not paying those bills no more. Like, it's not happening. That shit's forgiven. You better forgive it. I'd be like, no, we're not gonna. No.
You said no more national debt.
You said you reset it. You said you hit that reset button. I'm not paying my bills anymore. I'm not paying taxes anymore. You reset. You hit that reset. Yeah, so that's definitely not gonna happen. But we are gonna get a new Fed chair. And then on top of all that, somebody tried to assassinate Trump again.
I saw that
at the Correspondents' Dinner.
Mm.
Did you see the new picture that came out of him?
No.
Dude, it's hilarious. You got to look it up. Fucking to search like new photos released of the guy that did that. I just think you need to see it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Hit that fucking shit, dude. Dude, it's hilarious. Dude, he's taking a fucking picture like us going out in our 20s in AC, dude. That's like a fucking photo we would take before going out in a night in AC.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those.
Fucking wild, dude. I was like...
I love the tie tucked into his pants.
Yeah, if he wasn't strapped to the nines, I would think that this guy's about to go out clubbing. I'm laughing like, who the fuck takes a selfie like that before you go to do something like that? But like, yo, for the gram.
I mean, if you're not expecting to come back, might as well, right?
I mean, it's crazy, though, right? Like, I was like, no way, dude. Ain't no way somebody took a picture like that before going on that kind of a fucking thing.
I probably would.
Fucking, I'm finding out a whole bunch of shit about you today, dude. None of it good.
If I either thought that A, I wasn't coming back, or B, there was no way I was getting out of there, yeah, I'm probably like, hey, fuck it, click.
Dude, it's like he's taking that picture and be like, yeah, I'm going to get laid tonight.
He's going to get laid out.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. Fucking, he's just taking crazy pictures. I was like, all right, well, we got that. And then fucking the conspiracy theory behind that one, too. They're like, oh, it's fake and it's staged. This is to justify Trump's ballroom. Bitch, they're already building it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to justify anything. Yeah. The shit is torn down and he's building it. What is he going to justify? The fact that it's being built already? Like, what are you saying?
They don't have to justify shit.
Yeah. Fun fact, though, that hotel is where Reagan got shot in front of.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that one before that went down. So, yeah, the Hilton in the D.C. area does not have a good rep with presidents. So, shout out to Hilton because you're probably not going to get another president staying there.
I didn't know Reagan got shot.
Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't know about the Reagan assassination attempt?
Nah.
Dude, Reagan got shot cold, dude. And I think the fucking, the guy that fucking did it, he was another one of those ones that, like, read one of those, like, weird books. Remember they made fun of it in South Park where, like, like, Butter is like, must kill John Lennon. It's like, John Lennon's already dead. Dang it. Yeah, I think it was another one of, like, reading, like, Catcher in the Rye or some such similar book. And it was like, I gotta shoot Reagan.
No, Catcher in the Rye was the other one, but...
Yeah, no, I know, but some book like that.
Mm-hmm. And everyone else who read Catcher in the Rye is like, how the fuck did you get that out of this?
Well, in fairness, if after reading Catcher in the Rye, I didn't want to kill other people, just myself, but, you know. And not because the book inspired me to do so, but because the book was so painful to read. I'm like, I'll just end it. I don't want to deal with this shit.
For me, that was Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, also not great.
Hated that fucking book.
Yeah, but women love it.
the driest, most boring fucking sad book I've ever read.
I know. People are like, you don't like to read? I'm like, no, I got a book type, and no book in school is my book type ever. I still love getting away with using the same three books.
Did I like any books in school? I don't know.
I still love getting away with using the same three books for summer reading almost my entire school career. The one exception was one summer break where we had to like write a book report based off of like some specific book because I was going into like the fucking honors like English and then I had to read The Sound and the Fury, which I didn't read. I just like cliff noted it and just like wrote some bullshit report on the book. And like we had a test on it and everything, and I don't know how I passed that test, but I did. Probably the same way I passed probably the same way I passed the Fahrenheit 451 book.
See, that was actually a good book.
Yeah, but I didn't read it at all. Yeah. I still remember. I'm not going to mention our Friends Day, but I remember that shit was so funny. Literally, all I read of that book was the back cover. I read the back
I know what
cover.
You're talking about.
The back cover synopsis. And getting an A on that test, reading nothing, and hearing the book, and I did better. I was like laughing. I was like, "Yeah, well, dude, I don't even know how I got an A. I swear to God, the teacher must have looked at how long my essay was, and was just like, for that long, he had to have read it. It's got to be good because nothing I put in there had anything to do with what that book is actually about."
Yeah, you probably didn't read any of the essays. You're just like, yeah, based on their previous work, probably somewhere around here. Stamp it.
Yeah.
I still liked, I got away with a C for not writing the paper on Huck Finn.
Oh, because of the thing in the beginning saying it shouldn't be analyzed?
We had to write a paper on the symbolism of Huck Finn, even though the forward of it says, there's no symbolism in this book, it's just a story. So I'm like, hey, I'm not fucking writing this.
Yeah. We had a different teacher for that when that went down. It's like at the beginning of the book, it's like, yeah, don't look for any symbolism, anything like that. This is a story. Anybody looking for that kind of stuff should be shot. And then immediately after, the teacher's like, what do you think you meant by that? And I just was like, it wasn't acceptable to say. Back then, we didn't have all the school shootings, so you probably could have got away with it. But I just wanted to be like, they mean you should be shot. Because you're asking me that right now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're literally saying, it's just a story. Read the fucking story.
Yep. So, yeah, we had to write a paper. I refused to write a paper. Got a C. Worked out.
I got a B on a paper I never wrote. That was fun. But, like, for a different reason. Not because, like, I justified it, but because, like, I kept delaying, like, the term paper. And then the teacher was absent for a little bit. And when she came back, I convinced her that I turned the paper into the sub. and that she must have lost it. And she gave me a B on a paper I never wrote.
Nice.
I was like, sweet.
My mom told me once when she was in college, she got I forget what grade it was. It might have been an A or whatever on a paper she didn't write. She just put a bottle of of her professor's favorite whiskey on his desk.
I'd give her an A too,
right?
Like, you know what? That's good enough. You paid attention to the whiskey I like. That's more than anything I need to know. But now, knowing what we know about, like, college professors and, like, a lot of teachers in general, it's probably also because you probably wanted to bag your mom.
Could be.
Dude, a surprising amount of teachers like have been getting busted for that lately. But on the other end of the spectrum, I don't know if you've seen, there's been a huge amount of female teachers lately getting busted with like underage like boys. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Weird.
Yeah,
but good for those boys.
I mean, maybe let's not support that. All right. But yeah, like
all I'm saying is I had some teachers when I was in high school.
Yeah, okay, all right. High school age, a little bit different, but no, like the one I saw recently, there was a New Jersey teacher that got busted with a middle schooler, and I was like, ugh, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it just goes to show that fucked up people are fucked up regardless of gender or race or creed. He was like, "Yeah, you're a sick motherfucker." Just like that SoundCloud rapper that the thing's finally going to trial or whatever. That one guy that got like a little bit famous and killed his like 15-year-old girlfriend and left her body in his Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's finally going to trial, and yeah, finding out really disturbing things about that. That guy like definitely had like a type like R. Kelly style, but think R. Kelly minus about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Because he had a Discord going. Apparently, like, the Discord was full of people talking about him dating their, like, friends or sisters or whatever, and then being, like, around, like, 7th grade in age. It was like, ugh. It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? And Asmongold made a video on it. He's like, you know how you avoid all this? He's like, just wait till somebody is the legal age of consent. He's like, if you just date somebody who's legal age, you don't get any of this problem. He's like, and you maintain your fame. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Gross.
yeah, no, somebody like that's just sick because apparently they, I guess, uncovered his hard drive or something like that, riddled with exactly what you think it would be riddled with. It was like, ugh, gross, very gross.
How do we end up on this?
I don't know. Remember, people, it's only okay if you're a billionaire or in the government. Yep. Other than that, you're gonna get in trouble. Hashtag release the Epstein files. We got on it because it's stuff that happened this week. That stuff's finally going to trial now. And apparently, like, I guess it had been delayed because they wanted a huge preponderance of evidence because they're pushing for not just life, but, like, they want the death penalty for this guy. So, like, because people are like, what the fuck's going on? Why does this take it so long? And some people were like, no, he's innocent. He's innocent. It's like, no, that guy is, like, most certainly not. But, yeah, they were dragging their heels because they wanted enough evidence to push for the death penalty. Because,
gotcha. Where are they?
A state that allows it, apparently. But because, you know, you need more than the normal preponderance of evidence to push for that. And I guess they were having issues because they were having, like, uncooperative, like, witnesses and whatnot, too. Mm-hmm. Like, either trying to, like, you know, go off of his fame or some shit like that. So they didn't want to, like, say anything about, like, what went down. But yeah, so that's fun. So we got that sicko. We got the Trump assassination sicko, which I love that because Asmongold released a video too. He's like, we're in an assassination culture right now, and he's like, I'm releasing this video so in a couple of years from now I can look back on it and see, I told you I'm right. Or in a couple of years go back and delete the video. I was like, all right, that's pretty funny. I respect it. And then the other big thing that happened this week is the Supreme Court ruled on some challenge for, like, gerrymandering. It was basically like, you can't gerrymander based off of race. And now this is opening, like, the floodgates of a bunch of different states, like, about to challenge their own maps. So some states are redrawing it because their maps had been, like, wrong based off of that ruling that just came down. And other states are going like, oh, well, we have to redraw our maps because maybe our maps are biased. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're just going to redraw them the way we want.
So now it's just a race for everyone to try to get more.
Yeah. We're in the bleeding Kansas era of the Civil War too.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like a nuclear arms race, which I found out something recently too that I didn't realize was a thing. So, you know how everybody was freaking... This whole thing started because Texas is redrawing their maps in a year that's not usually after the census. You want to know why that happened? And I didn't realize this was a thing, but apparently, like, everybody just paid attention to the fact that Trump told them to redraw it, not where it actually came from. So after the last census, Texas went to redraw their maps. Not horribly redistrict them, but they just kind of, like, extended the boundaries a little bit to make areas that were already red, like, deeper red, to, like, enshrine them as red. Not like some of that horrible shit that you see people do, like, on, like, you want to see the worst, like, gerrymandered map? Look at the Illinois district map. Bring that one up real quick if you want to see that one. That one's a fun one. And then you're
Illinois district map?
Yeah. Illinois congressional district map. I think the congressional district ones are down bottom. Yeah, you see that nice little, like, look at that great, lovely congressional district through, like, the middle of the state that definitely isn't drawn that way so that it can touch Chicago and get a bunch of, like, Democrat voters to rule all the rural voters. Yeah, so, like, it wasn't like that. Texas wasn't redrawing like that. Texas was going, hey, this area here's, like, red, and there's a little bit more red people here. Let's just, like, put them in there, and then Zoidberg our way to having a very deep red district. But so they went to do that after the last census, which normally that's the standard. When the census is taken, you redraw your maps. That's how it works for most districts, because now you know your population, so you may have more seats, you may have less seats, so you redraw the maps. The Biden administration challenged Texas's redraw and put a freeze on it while they fought it out in court. So they were battling it in court for 4 years. Then Trump gets in. Trump has the DOJ, because he's in control now, drop the suit. So now Texas no longer has to, like, freeze that. And because it was frozen and it never redrawn the maps, Trump said, okay, now you guys should redraw your maps because, like, the midterms are coming up. You should do it. But people were taking that as they were having Texas do it in an unconstitutional way. It's like, no, they're just doing the thing that they got suspended from doing for 4 years now. So while the optics are bad, and it does look bad optically, the root cause of it has nothing to do with Trump. Yeah, which then sprung a whole bunch of things where all these states that are very democratic are like, let's go around our democratic process that we put into place of an independent commission to draw districts, and we're going to take the power back and draw it ourselves. And then put weird questions like the red blue button question of, do you want to restore election fairness? That's how they phrased it in Virginia.
Yep.
In an effort to restore election fairness. I'm like, ugh. So yeah, so now we might see a whole bunch of congressional maps redrawn right before the midterms, which is kind of crazy because I think it's Louisiana did it as a reaction to this. They paused their primaries. They're like, fuck it, the primaries aren't going down because we're redrawing the maps. And like, but we already sent out ballots. They're like, we don't give a fuck. We're telling you those ballots are null and void. We're redrawing the map. So this is gonna get squirrely.
Have you ever been part of the census?
Yeah, I have to. You're required by law.
Really?
Yeah. Have you been living in a building on your own before? So they'll send people, like, knock door to door. If they can't get you, they'll eventually send you a mailer that says, like, you have to fill this out.
Yeah.
Like, by law, you have to fill it out.
Yeah, the only time I've ever done it was when I was at the house down in Georgia when I was renting that. And I was like, I'm renting this, right?
It doesn't matter. So the census doesn't care whether you're renting, and the thing they've been challenging for a while is, like, it should care if you're a legal citizen or not, but right now it currently doesn't. All it is counting how many physical people are in the state that you're being represented by, and that gives them congressional seats based off the population density. So they don't care that you're renting; they care that you've now moved to another state. So that state has more people to represent, meaning they need more representatives.
Do they do that every year, the census?
No, it's every 10 years.
Every 10 years. Okay, that explains why I didn't get it any other time. All right, yeah. So yeah, when I was down in Georgia living at the house is when I got it.
Yeah, but it's only like one. It's you get it for one person in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So like your state here now. So if the census comes around again and you're here, it's going to be like a one household thing. And then I would just have to be like, yeah, there's 2 people here. That's it. They're not going to be like per person. They don't need to report it twice. They send it per house. Mm-hmm. So because you're in that like address, that's like they're like, how many people are there? And I don't know how it works.
Do they do that for apartments?
I think in apartment buildings, they might send it to the owner of the apartment building. I'm not sure how that works. And then they would
say how many people they got living there?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
You Googleize that while I go get another drink.
All right.
Because I'm not sure how that works.
Let's see. So it says
I've returned.
The census counts apartment residents by sending surveys to each individual unit addressed to the resident of. If the residents do not respond, census takers, enumerators, visit to interview them directly. If tenants are unreachable, staff may ask building managers to provide occupancy data, as managers are legally required to cooperate.
I wonder how much Leering Center fraud happens through that, huh?
Right?
Yeah, well, there's totally tenants in this building. It's all Section 8 that I'm getting money from the government for. There's totally people here.
That's a good
Totally
point.
people.
Anybody who's doing tenant fraud is for sure going to lie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You just can't reach them for some reason. They're definitely there.
Dude, I wonder how much like census issues there are with that. You know what's hilarious part about that? So like speaking of the census, just like reminded me of another thing. There's a little bit of that going on in China because China's having a huge population collapse right now, and they're finding out it's because their census numbers were probably wrong.
Ah.
So there's 3 points of identification that they use to track the population in China because they don't have like a social security number thing. That's not a thing.
Hang
Like,
on, I have to pause you right here, otherwise my ADHD is gonna freak out. So I saw a comedian, and she was talking. She's Chinese, and she was saying that the word strawberry and the phrase "fuck your sister" are like almost identical, but it's just like inflection that matters.
Yeah.
And she's like, so if you're at a grocery store and you say it like this, what you're actually saying is, you want to fuck my sister, but I'm just gonna give you the strawberry because we're at a grocery store and we're Chinese. None of us have sisters.
That's a very good one-child policy joke.
All right, continue.
I like it. But yes, in vain with that, right? So because they don't have a social security number like we do here, which is kind of like how you track and identify as well as the birth certificate, because in China, for a while, not everybody was born in like a hospital, so they can't use like hospital records to track like the population. So they used 3 touch points to figure it out. Touch point number 1 to figure out if you had kids or not was they went by the number of people being vaccinated because it's mandatory that you get vaccinated in China.
Okay.
Now, here's issue number 1.
What if they're not bringing them to get vaccinated?
Well, no, here's issue number 1. Doctors in China were getting kickbacks and performances based off of the number of people they inoculated. So they reported fraudulent numbers about the number of like infants they inoculated.
Nice.
Okay, so that's a problem. Then the second point that they use to count them is when they go into primary school. So, okay, if we missed you getting vaccinated, we'll definitely catch you when you come around and you enter school. Well, yet again, there was incentives and bonus programs and money programs based on the number of children in the schools. So it turns out they fabricated the school numbers in a lot of cases too to also get money from the government. And then the third and final point of like contact that they can know that you're a real person, you're around and you're there, is when you turn 18 and you join the labor force, they get a good estimate of people by the amount of people paying taxes. Now, this final checkpoint is when they realized they were fucked because that whole cohort of people that they thought existed this whole time were like going through and like, oh, we got a bunch of people. We're fucking great. Hit tax like earning years and they're like, hey,
why is no one paying taxes?
Yeah, why don't we have the money we thought we were going to have? And then they looked into it and they were like, fuck. They lied, and we have no idea how many people there really are in the country. So China covers this up because they lie about their numbers for that stuff. But as bad as the population decline is like said to be here, it's apparently like 10x in China. And they're also running out of 50-year-olds, which is a problem because like the measure of your society is like your working age populace. And once you start hitting 50, you start aging yourself out of like the job market in a way of like you can't do things like construction, like the labor that makes society run. So then you need enough people under like 35 to continue onwards. And if that balance inverts, you're headed for some bad times as a society. Unless you do stuff like how Japan has been doing where they have like a lot of robotics taking things over and stuff like that. Or you do what Europe does and you empower a lot of other people's kids. The problem with that, though, is, in a couple years' time, you're not your country anymore. You're the people that come into your country.
Also, China's not going to be importing people from other countries.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna let people know about it anyway. So, like, they're having a huge issue there. Apparently, India's on the same kind of boat. Even though India has like a lot of people, they don't track it very well, and their shit's kind of like fucked up too, from what I understand from this guy that was like talking about it. But yeah, we're headed for some interesting times in the next 5 to 10 years from that guy's prediction. But that's a side tangent. Who cares? Fucking the census and all that shit. How were we? Okay, all right, cool. The other thing that happened this week, fuck all the other shit wise, is the new Diablo expansion came out.
Yep.
So how about in the last little bit of this shit, since we've been talking all doom and gloom and we started with some fun thing, let's end with a fun thing. What do you think about the new expansion? What are your thoughts on it? How do you like it?
The leveling seems
We're not sponsored, by the way.
the leveling seems much slower than it has been. Like, typically I could level up to the max level and go into Paragon in like one night, and like it was a struggle to max out my character in like 10 hours.
But you did a new character though, right?
Yeah. Technically I've made 3. I started with Sorcerer, wasn't really happy with that. I was hoping that they would give buff to some of the stuff, and they didn't do what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So I tried out the Warlock. The Warlock is fun to play, but it's super squishy.
Okay.
You die like immediately if you're not really careful. And then I went back to Pally and started the Paladin, and I'm happier with that again.
Okay. So the walking simulator build is still intact?
Yes, but I haven't
gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
But does it make leveling faster being with a character that you're more familiar with?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not necessarily the leveling was slow, but more that you were dealing with characters that you were unfamiliar with?
Yeah, well, a little bit that, and a little bit the survivability on the Paladin is much higher, so I can just sort of like trounce through, where I had to be much more careful with the Sorcerer and the Warlock, but they're both fairly squishy characters. So
understood. So what about the expansion itself? Without like spoiling it, how do you like the new features in it?
Mostly pretty good. Yeah. And I'll let you know again once like I've gotten more gear. Currently the gear releasing at because like I'm just barely scratching Penitent like when I'm really pushing it. So typically I'm playing on like hard. And so yeah, I don't have a lot of gear. So like I said, I just got 3 characters basically up to max level, although I haven't quite gotten up to max level with the Paladin yet. And I've gotten a total of 2 uniques.
Okay.
Across all 3 characters, and even then only a handful of legendaries. So my Paladin is currently at level like 52, and I've gotten 1 legendary that I'm wearing.
How's the set stuff going though? The set stone things. Like
again,
how does that work?
Can't really tell you.
Oh, you haven't got any set stones yet. Just the items they go in.
Yeah. Well, so I have gotten. They start you off. They sort of there's. I'm imagining it's the same set because I've gotten a few pieces across like each character of the whatever of practice set, and so this one gives there's a 2 bonus and a 3 bonus. The 2 is plus attack speed and movement speed, I think. And then the 3 is plus 50% kill experience, which is nice. But I wish those were flipped so you could level faster.
I was gonna ask if it's like how it used to be. Like there's generic sets, and then there's like the class specific sets. Is that how it's going to be?
I think there are. Yeah,
Okay,
I just haven't gotten any of the extra shit yet.
And then the most important part that I care about that you teased me with the other night, and I haven't played it yet, so I'll find out when I play it. What's the fishing? What do you mean with that?
Oh yeah, there's fishing. So it doesn't really play into anything else really. But
it's not used for anything.
Not yet, or not that I found yet. But yeah, there's a fishing mechanic. So you go to one guy and he gives you a fishing pole, and then you stand around him and you fish. And there's just like actual fish. Sometimes you get fish, sometimes you get like junk. And the fish goes into your collection. There's a short quest line for it of just go around to all the different places and fish their special fish.
Okay.
And then so you can add them to your collection or you can sell them.
Okay.
They don't sell for a whole lot, but and that's it. They may do more with it later. I did see.
Do you level up fishing in any way?
No.
Because you know exactly what I'm going to be doing in that game now, right?
You do get a little bit of experience for it.
You know I'm just going to be fishing, right?
Yeah.
Like all the time. Like you're going to be in the background and killing stuff, and we'll be over by like a pond or wherever this thing is. We're like, yeah, I'll be there in a second. And it's like, would you stop fishing? No, never. I'm never going to stop fishing.
You'll probably stop fishing eventually.
I hope I can get some kind of angler's gear set where I could just look like a fisherman.
That'd be fun.
Like the whole time. Like I want like a straw like fisherman's hat and like the fisherman's pole and just like I want to look like an angler.
Maybe. But yeah, you'll probably give up on it eventually because it does seem like there's like you can get everything at some point and then you'll stop.
Have you met me? Do you know how much?
At some point, there will be no point to it anymore.
Do you know how much oily blackmouth I fished over in the Barrens?
Yes, but there's a point to it, no?
Yeah, to make gold.
Yeah.
You can make gold doing this.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Doesn't matter. I can do it. And then, dude.
However, I did see stuff that said, I think at higher levels while fishing, you have a chance to get gear.
Yeah.
You can fish up the gear.
I was going to say, you don't know how Blizzard works, dude. Do you know how long you would probably have to fish in a spot before you found something that they hid in that fishing spot? Dude, do you know how many unique like fishing mobs and things there are in WoW where like you literally have to spend hours, if not days, fishing in a spot? You know how many of these fishing quests I've gone on to do?
I saw on a loading screen the other day, and I laughed out loud because the loading screen pops up and it just says there is no cow level.
Makes me sad. There should be a cow level in this game. They need to add a cow level. Why is there not a cow level?
There might be.
Not in this game.
No, there might be. There's been.
Now that they added the Herodric cube, there might be a cow level.
Well, it might not exist yet, but there is. There's stuff you can do that the player base doesn't know exactly what the end result of it is, but there's like if you do this, you do this.
Yeah,
if you do this, you do this.
Yeah, there's something that they started piecing together.
Yeah.
I did see that. Yeah.
So they don't know what the next piece of the puzzle is, if it even exists yet, but the theory is that it's probably towards the cow level.
It's Activision trolling you, and when you finish it, it brings you to the shop screen and prompts you to buy the money. And it won't let you leave until you buy enough silver, and then the game resumes. And if you don't, when you try to launch the game again, it's just permanently bricked on your computer. I could see Activision doing that.
That seems unlikely.
I don't know, man. They've killed games for less.
Yeah, true.
Activision's
but
not,
overall,
not the old Activision we used to know.
I am enjoying it, but it does feel slower than in previous seasons. But we'll see.
That might be in contrast to the last season being so quick.
Yeah. But once I unlock like more set bonus stuff or, get a better gear set, that'll probably change. Okay. But yeah, because with the Warlock as well, I didn't have any like decent legendary gear that was like towards a build, so it just seemed like it was really tough to get through.
The Warlock is the brand new character that you could like the opposite side of the Paladin, right? That nobody got to play yet.
Yep.
So it hasn't gotten the nerf bat yet.
Yeah.
The nerf bat is coming.
Well, I'm not sure it had a buff bat to begin with. Like I said, it doesn't seem particularly strong. So
you probably won't see until you build it endgame because they don't know the ways it can be broken yet. Just like you said, the Paladin was broken a little bit, and then they tuned it down a little bit. And you'll probably find out if the Paladin is still because did they? You probably didn't read it, but when they released the game, did they patch the classes in any way when they released the?
Yeah, they made some adjustments. So they made adjustments to the skill trees in total. So nobody really knows what any of the classes are right now. Okay. Because they made sweeping changes to the skill trees.
They simplified it, right?
So there's no more like general passives and stuff. All of the skills branch off of the main skills. So you have your main.
So there's no like increases dodge chance on a random thing.
Nope.
Thank God.
Yeah. So they removed all of that. Now it's just it's the main skills, and then off of those, each one has like the end tier 3, or you can pick like the main changes that they make, which are pretty much the same as they always have been. And then they each have 2 like secondary sets where you can choose between 2 other things, and that's it.
Yeah. So like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Like overly complicated, and I hope with that they erase some of the stupid shit where like you can get gear with like a bonus skill level to a skill, and the more skill level in that skill you do bonus. I'm like,
no, that's still there. Yeah.
So dumb,
And
dude.
now the
You know you could roll that on your gear too?
Yeah.
What an annoying stat to roll, dude. What a useless thing to like proc me with.
No, that's all still there. And that may make more of a difference now than it did then. Because like none of the other passive shit are there, so like your level in the skill.
No, but it still caps at 5.
No. So it used to be
uncapped now?
It's 15 now.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, each main skill caps at 15 now.
Ugh.
And then plus obviously the modifiers from the gear.
Blizzard never learns.
Yeah, so all the points that they took away from the passives, now you just throw them into the fucking
Blizzard never learns. they just never learn. They never learn with that shit.
So, yeah.
That's like skill points go burr. No, they don't. Please stop. Like what? Like I know people hated it at first when they did it with the skill trees in WoW, but I really liked that you just get to certain levels and it's like just pick a thing, just pick one thing. This is what your thing does now. Okay, cool, great. Like how many talents do I have to peck through? This 6 or 7. That's it. Okay, well, what's it? No. It's just these things. Oh, okay, but what? No, it's just those things. Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's sort of how it goes now. So, like you said,
yeah, but the levels into them is annoying.
By the time you get to level like 25 or 30, you've got your skills picked, and then all your additional points out there from there to max level just go into like you just put them into your other skills as you go.
Yeah, because I like for the Diablo 3 skill tree of like, okay, pick your skill. Okay, now you're high enough level, you get runes. Okay, what rune do you want? Do you want to do physical? Do you want to do fire? Do you want multiple? Do you want big? Pick one. Okay, easy. I want big spider. Give me a big spider. Okay, you got big spider. Big spider follows you around all the time. Okay, my cave brain knows that it likes it. Me likey. Now it's like, okay, big spider, but big spider has underlying lucky chance hit with this multiplier and this deviation, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. The biggest thing that I saw that simplified that for me a lot was understanding that there's 0 point in stacking the multiplier damages. So not damage that multiplies, that's important to stack. But you know how you have overpower, the vulnerable and stuff like that? Did you know that each one of those things only adds a base modifier and that's it?
What do you mean?
So vulnerable adds a 20% damage increase to things that you hit. Increasing vulnerable damage is not a multiplier, it's just an additive. So stacking that, like vulnerability damage, is like minuscule compared to like if you boost something else's damage and then add the. So all you have to do with the vulnerability stuff is you just have to pick which one you want to put on everything. That's it. You either have to overpower everything, make everything vulnerable, make everything weak, whatever that is, that you just pick it and then don't stack into it at all. Because it's terrible to stack into it because you're getting minuscule returns, but less like. So you know how I struggled so much last season with the rogue?
Yeah.
Once I found that out, I completely redid my rogue build, and it was game changing. Like, yeah, I wasn't doing the meta, but like once I realized, like, oh, I thought vulnerable damage was like the end all be all. I want to make things vulnerable and then stack it. And then when I realized, like, oh no, I'm basically just putting a set debuff on everything. As long as I can make sure I make everything vulnerable, that's all I need to do. I don't need to stack it. I just need to stack things that allow me to make them vulnerable.
Okay, yeah. So you do as much as you can to make them vulnerable.
Yes, and then do damage on top of it.
Yeah. Unless you've got a piece of gear that multiplies your vulnerable damage.
Which, no.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. It adds to it. It never. Those status, they never multiply. They only add.
Well, like if
I know what you're talking about. You see next to the things that either pluses or it multiplies. There is no multiplicative damage to any of the modifiers. It just adds to.
Yeah, but you can have gear that does like your frost skills do plus 50% vulnerable damage.
Yes, but it's adding, not multiplying. Yeah, and that
But
adding,
it's gonna make a difference.
No, because additive damage has severe diminishing returns. I watched a video on a guy that broke it down. He's like, you always want the X damage, never the plus damage. Plus damage is not good, but those modifiers are so little to be. So the original modifier is X. You do 20% more, like multiplied by 20% more. Now, when you add on top of that, you're adding 50% more, but the base multiplier is 20. So you're adding 50% of 20. That's
10,
it. Yeah. And that like gets like as you add 50% more on top. So now you added 30. So now you're getting 50% of that 30. It just diminishes where if you did 20x and then you got another 20x. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can multiply, much better.
Yeah.
And the gems are now multiplicative.
Are they easier to get too? I really hate that
A little bit.
farming.
A little bit, yeah.
I really don't like that they got rid of the mechanic where you could just like get enough of the lower gems to like upgrade them to the higher gems and it just took gold. I found the gold farming annoying back in the day, but now I much more prefer farming gold than I do farming gem fragments.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, is that hard?
But yeah, you can break down the gems and then build them into bigger gems. But
no, I know you.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem getting
but...
them so far this season. The gem
because last season, I don't know if you experienced the same thing. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this like the scarcest resource in the game?
Yeah, this season not so bad.
Okay.
And yeah, they're multiplicative. So they changed the weapon how they work. So red is now times fire and holy damage. Purple is now times poison damage, etc.
There's no ultimate buff anymore.
Purple is shadow. Green is poison.
There's no ultimate buff damage anymore.
From gems?
Yeah. Was it the rogue stack? Well, or at least that's what I stacked as the rogue.
What gem was?
Diamond. If you put it in your weapons, it increases your ultimate
damage?
skill damage.
Yeah, no, so they took that away.
Yeah, because rogues, you would stack if you were going for the trap build, because you have the ultimate like trap skill that I put down on the ground, and well, we haven't played this past, but you've seen me before where like everybody gets trapped in that, so you boost that damage. Because the thing that helped me by the end of the season, I think I had like 4,000 or 5,000 times my trap damage.
Damn.
Like the ultimate skill damage by that, I just boosted that through like the roof. And as long as I could put that down, like everything just died in it.
Nice. No, so it's not that. It's elemental damages there, but they are multiplicative instead of additive now. And
that could still work because I could boost my actually I could boost my shadow damage. I really liked
and diamond is all damage. Yeah.
Nice. I really liked shadow imbuement. I started doing that instead of poison imbuement. The shadow damage worked better because it makes everything vulnerable. And there's a lot of like legendaries that's stacked around making that spread to everyone.
Yep. So yeah, that's how that works now.
It might mean that the poison trap is less good though. So instead of like doing trap damage, you just take another skill there and then stack the ultimate and then just stack your shadow damage.
I mean, it would be the poison damage of the trap, not the trap damage itself.
No, I know, but you boost the way it worked with the rogue before is you boosted either your trap damage or your ultimate. Like you boost your trap damage, which also boosted the poison and the ultimate, or you'd boost like an affix, but it would never like overlap because the ultimate shadow and the your trap is poison. Like you don't have multiple traps, and then you would pick your imbuement based off of what you were doing. So you could do poison imbuement, you could do shadow imbuement, or you could do cold imbuement. And so like now, if you can only buff one, I would do like shadow, so I'm buffing both my shadow imbuement and my ultimate, and then I would probably pick something instead of traps.
Yep.
And then just buff the shadow, and it would also change the way that like I would probably do my my skill table at the end. I would do the thing that buffs my ultimate first, and then the thing that buffs all my elemental damage. Because there's a thing that specifically goes around buffing like your elemental damage in the rogue one. I don't know how that like the other ones work. They have a tree similar to that.
Yeah, unless they changed it a little bit. You shall see when you start a new character.
I know it sucks. I'm gonna play the Rochambeau if like I get to the end and I'm like, how fucked am I?
And yeah, to get the Roger Cube, you have to have the new expansion.
Yeah. That's
Obviously.
how all that stuff works. I don't know if I like or hate that fact that you could still play like the end game stuff, but you're just like severely limited into what you can access.
Mm-hmm.
Like on one side it's good, but on the other side it's like, ugh, it kind of sucks. Like I don't even like, because I don't even know. I don't think you could do that in Diablo 3. Like if you wanted to play the seasonal content, you had to have everything.
Ah, okay.
It wasn't like you could be like, oh yeah, I want to buy Diablo 3 base game and then do the seasonal stuff. They're like, no, loser, get the expansion.
Yeah, you can still do it. So.
You didn't have to get the extra stuff. So like once they had their expansion, the expansion after that just added characters. It never like it wasn't more content. So
no,
like you didn't need the character expansions. You just needed the base game and the expansion.
Yeah. This is it's a more mapping, new character, and huge skill tree change.
Yeah, well, that's the other funny part. You don't have access to a huge chunk of the map.
Yeah.
Because our one friend who will not be named, but also listens. So if you made it all the way to the end, shout out to you. But also, I know you don't listen, so fuck you at the same time. He didn't until he bought the expansion towards the very end. Like more than half the map was just cut off to him. He's like,
oh, he was playing last season without the expansion.
Yeah, for the majority of it. That's why he finally like caved in and got it. He's like, what the fuck am I missing out on? Yeah, so like I saw like a certain area like Helltide. It was like down there. I was like, or like one of the group events. I was like, oh, let's go do it. And then I went to. He's like, where are you? I was like, I'm like here. He's like, oh, I don't have that. Which kind of sucks because there are things in the end game that are group oriented. So like what ends up happening because of that, I noticed, is you don't get people in the new areas. They're only in the old areas. So like the Legion event where you need a bunch of people, Legion events kept spawning in that last expansion's like new area. And I went down there and I would consistently be the only player. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I can't do a Legion event on my own, so I'm out.
Yeah, there's a lot in Diablo 4 that encourages you to be in a group.
I kind of do want to,
including that you get more XP and more loot when you're in a group.
I want to do more of that. That one thing that we tried to do that like all you could really get is like more incenses.
Yeah,
it was fun, except I was just too low level for it.
Yeah,
like and I've been kind of busy. You've been kind of busy. Well, you've been more busy with night shift than anything else. But we never really got to like. Once I got my character up, if we had tried the Citadel again, it would have been like way different.
We'll try again this season.
After you're done playing Walking Simulator, I'm gonna try the Warlock, dude. I think the Warlock's interesting. I wanted the Warlock to be more of a summoning character, which it seems like it's not.
No, you can. It depends on the build.
Okay.
You can absolutely do a summoning character.
I want to have a demon army, dude.
So not quite in the same way that like the Necro is, where you can like summon an army that follows you around.
You mean I can't have a demon army?
Sort of. So the way the Warlock works is there's only a couple of the summon skills that just like have them with you. So you can set the first.
You mean I can't have it be like WoW with a succubus cracking her whip behind me the whole time?
Sort of. So there's the first basic one. One of the things at the end lets you. Typically, it's just a button that you throw little dudes out at people at. Okay. But you can hit a button where they just continually spawn. You can have up to 5 follow you around all the time. Okay. And then when you get near somebody, they run at them and explode.
Okay.
So that's like the first basic one. You get that one like right away. And then after that, there's summon stuff all over them. But most of the summon stuff, it counts them as a summon, but it's really just like an ability you throw at shit. Aww. But there's some like turret summons. There's like an eye summon that will like sit there and you can like focus it at a beam at some. There's a version of that where you can like make it a channel. And so like it counts a whole bunch of shit as summons, and there are some stuff where you can have other ones like follow you around, but they're on a timer, so you have to keep hitting them to keep them around. They don't just like stand around and follow you. You have to like continually press the buttons to keep them up. But you can keep up an army of little minions, but you have to you have to manage it.
Speaking in Diablo 3 terms, what character would you say the warlock is most like?
Probably Witch Doctor.
Yeah, but not summoning Witch Doctor, more like Plague Witch Doctor. You know how I would do the Plague build and I'm just spamming diseases on people?
Somewhere in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of summons, mostly poison.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did like me some Poison Witch Doctor when it came around. Not as fast as Whirlwind Barbarian, but spirit bouncing fucking Witch Doctor was still pretty OP.
Mm-hmm.
I still love doing that. Where like I would spread my poison and then just run, and like I'd be trying to outrun the poison, just spreading to everything and killing it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that was before you got your like monk really sorted out. I got the Poison Witch Doctor working good.
You're
like
so
everything
fast.
is not only that, but everything was dying. You're like, why is everything dying so quickly?
That's why I figured out how to get my speed run monk, is because playing with you, I just had to keep up. And eventually I figured out how to be faster than you.
And then I got the Whirlwind Barbarian, which kept up with you, but I didn't have the ability to go through walls like you.
Yep. It used to piss you off.
Yeah, I was like, you mother teleporting all over the place. Because even with the spirit form of the Witch Doctor, I couldn't go through walls like that.
Oh, the Warlock has 2 wall jumping abilities.
Oh, like you could put like down the teleport markers?
Yeah, so he can so he's got the Shadow Step, which one of the 3 versions of that, you can put down the teleport markers and you can go back and forth.
I like that.
Or you can just use it as a regular teleport, or you can use it as a run. So it no longer teleports, but it turns you invisible and you run for 3 seconds, which has its own uses. It turns you like invisible and invulnerable and you run for 3 seconds. And then there's a separate mobility thing. Well, there's a separate ability where one of the 3 options is a mobility. It turns it into like, what's the warrior jump from WoW?
Oh, like the leap?
Yeah, so it turns it into a leap. And that one, both of those, the leap / teleport abilities will go through walls. Mm-hmm. One of them uses dominance, and one of them does not.
Ew, that's the resource, dominance.
Wrath and dominance for the warlock. It's a dual resource.
Lame.
Some of the skills don't use either. Some of them use wrath. Some of them use dominance.
Okay. So it's more than like a cross between Witch Doctor and Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Because Demon Hunter had the dual resource.
It doesn't play like a Demon Hunter though. Well,
except the dual resource pool.
Yeah, but you don't.
Is there any other character that has dual resource?
Not in D4.
Yeah. So it's like Demon Hunter then, because Demon Hunter had the discipline and then the hatred.
Yeah.
Discipline and hatred. Now we're going to dominance and what?
Wrath.
Bro, sounds like discipline and hatred with extra steps.
Yep. But there are, depending on the build you go, like,
guys, if we reskin the old stuff, do you think they'll notice? No.
I got my warlock up to 70 without having any skills that use dominance.
Well, you could do that as like the Demon Hunter too. Yep. You could go discipline or hatred build, or you could do like a mix of both. Like usually, what would happen is you would like your hatred would be your damage, and your discipline would be your escape.
Mm-hmm.
Like the discipline was like the caltrops, like the leaping away shit, and then hatred was just like all your damage stuff.
Yeah, I was having fun with the warlock, so you can make one of its abilities is like screaming something or other, screaming blaze or something like that, and like it gets you can shoot off a skull, and then the main version of it, you shoot off a skull and it bounces off walls and like splinters. But there's a version of it.
That is literally the old fucking Witch Doctor ability.
Yeah.
You could throw this flaming skull, and when it hit the wall, it just like bounced and shattered into different skulls.
So it's literally that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but there's a version of it that makes it orbit you, and it turns it into a channel. And like as it hits stuff, because it always orbits you, but you can channel it to make it go faster.
Okay.
And it's also on a timer, so you hit it and it orbits you for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then channeling it re-ups the buff, and it also makes the orbit go faster.
Okay.
And if there was a unique or something like that made it so I could walk and channel that at the same time, it would have been so much more fun.
Yeah, considering they want you to move and screw up all the channeling stuff, I doubt it. But, there's hope. You can hope.
So, yeah, if I could just, like, hold X and run around all the time with, like, that going around, that would have been so much more fun. But
what is the unique seasonal thing this time?
there is not one. The unique seasonal thing this time is that everything is new.
Is the gear for the seasonal worth the season pass?
Some of it's actually pretty cool, yeah. You take a look at it because you can view it before you buy the season pass. Some of it is actually pretty cool.
No, because I got the version because I'm a whale. I got the version of that expansion that comes with the free like season passes.
Yeah, the main gear of it, you already got for buying that version.
I hate them so much.
Yeah, so you've already got the like you know how like you get everything from them and then once you fill out the tree, you get the last piece of it.
Yeah.
So that last piece of it you already own for buying the first bit. But
Sweet.
But there is some really cool gear in them. So take a look and see if it's worth unlocking. Because if you've got the season pass, you can bank that till next season, right?
Yeah, I could just hold it indefinitely.
Yeah. So take a look and see if it's what you want.
I have to redeem the token for the season pass, which is nice.
But there is some cool stuff. There's a new horse mount and a new cat mount that have a metal blade on their heads, and they're all like golden. So that's pretty cool. I got those.
She did. Is there a new death animation or teleport that's kind of cool?
No. I don't think so, actually.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Blizzard. There
is a new teleport. Yes, the new teleport is also like white and gold. It's cool.
The town portal.
Yeah, the town portal.
Might have already also gotten it.
I think
by
so.
Paying for that version.
Yeah.
Damn it, Blizzard. Stop giving away my premium pass as a cosmetic pack in the new season. It's making me feel lame. I don't want to feel lame. Well, but I am lame. But you know what's not lame?
Liking and subscribing?
Yes, if you made it this far. You might as well, because if you made it this far and you don't like and subscribe, you are pretty lame.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's pretty lame to make it this far. You can't get an hour in and not...
and then be like, I don't like these guys.
Yeah, and not do that. Unless you're using us to fall asleep to, which if you are, still like and subscribe and then comment that, and we might just shift to like a whole ASMR sleep channel.
Yeah, we'll do ASMR. We'll just sit here like that.
Yeah, we're not above it. You know, we're having fun here, but you know, if we could make money that way, I'll switch it.
Which speaking of ASMR, before we hang up on the line here, so I used to hate ASMR stuff. Like anytime it like showed up on my feed, I would immediately click pass because it would just like
autism advanced,
something like that. I don't know because it used to like trigger the part of my brain that like I'm like it would like snap my neck. You know, I'm like God, I can't get away from this fast enough. And then for some reason. So I came across a video. It was a guy. It was a like haircut ASMR, and she was like cutting his hair and like giving him a scalp massage or whatever. And for some reason, that was soothing. And then after that, like regular ASMR is like soothing. Now I don't know. Like it flipped a switch in my brain.
Do you have a white noise machine in your room to sleep at night?
No.
Okay. Well, if you want to turn us into a white noise machine, like, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell. Share the show with everyone you know, especially people that hate Diablo 4. Just kidding. And you can find us on the YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and the Tiki Takis.
And technically X.
We'll talk about your ASMR obsession in a future video.
All right. So long, folks.
See ya.